And Roy and I met at the circus in New York. That's a connection, but it's not that we were actually circus performers, even though Roy was close. The band leader had to keep him out of the ring every day.
The Professor, Baronet, the Swimming Bad.
I heard about the Lounge Lizards out on the West Coast where I'm from, and that this was this band from New York that somehow had fused jazz with the punk movement, and three of these guys were in the band. And so, I mean, if there ever was a jazz punk movement in New York, this band grew out of it.
Jazz Passengers was a joke on Jazz Messengers. It was originally going to be called Curtis Folks, Roy Nathanson, and the Jazz Passengers, which is extremely long and unwieldy and very unheroic. I wrote a tune once called You're the Fool that we don't do anymore, but it's a beautiful kind of melody, and then we would turn it into this crazy thing. In the middle, my father's a sax player from those old days, and he would say, man, why do you make it so ugly in the middle? I mean, it's so great now. And
it also changes every night and with every person that walks in and out of that room. You know, as you're playing, you know, it's sort of like this constant balance. I guess you could have a computer set up and, you know, see how many receptive heads there are in the room versus, you know, people who are, you know, gargling their drinks or talking loudly, you know, across the room. So it's like a statistical balance. It's always changing, you know.
If it sounds normal, too normal, like, you know, we're all bored after halfway through the tune. It's like, this sounds terrible. Right. You know, somebody else might be there. Wow, it sounds like your dad. Oh, that's great. That sounds great. And then by the end, they'll say, oh, you ruined it, you know. No. When I first got into the band, I came to a recording session. I don't think I came to a rehearsal. I came to a recording session expecting it to be, because all I played was Latin music and straight ahead jazz, expecting it to be this straight ahead thing.
This guy's a great violins player.
And all of a sudden we're playing a tune, and I'm thinking, what the hell do I play? They gave me a chart that was on like a napkin or something. Here's a chart. I didn't know. I didn't really understand. It took me a good 3 years to really know what to play and to hear it, to really hear what it was. It took me, you know, and I'm supposed to be this trained musician.
You know, back in the 20s, you know, when bands of Louis Armstrong and King Oliver, I mean, they were entertainers, you know, and they used a lot of comedy and a lot of theatrics in their presentations. You know, however they presented their music it was entertainment. And
also, Betty Blue Lips the Blue Lips are incredible comics. I mean, they're really skilled comics, and Charles Ludlam was an amazingly skilled comic. And those, I mean, I came through that more than other guys. But you know, everybody has their own in the band version of what they think the theater. It's built its own thing. But yeah, that's how I came up playing, to being around that kind of theater. And you know, I just think it's the wildest, you know, it's the most unpredictable.
The moon is living big tonight, without the starlight in the sky. My love, your hair that you're holding the clouds when you walk in the ballroom. Couple number 3 is waltzing bravely as the band plays the lambada. Strange, but that's my favorite dance. It just goes to show that I'm a plain old Joe. Maybe this song's an illusion.
Embarrassed. Roy's the one that suggested this whole doing the thing, singing. I'm not really, you know, I don't fashion myself as a singer, you know. When I'm singing, I'm hearing like great singers in my head, you know, but I'm not hearing them come out the other side of the mic.
Plain old Joe. Well, I wrote the music to that. And I figured, well, we don't have a bossa nova type song in our repertoire, so I figured let me try to write a bossa nova, you know, combined with the goofy lyrics that me and Roy wrote, and just the whole pattern of the melody and everything. It was not just any bossa nova, just something that would relate to us, you know.
I love straight ahead jazz, and you know, we probably all do, but at the same time, there are things about it that I really don't like, you know, and that can, I could go see my favorite performer, see 3 songs and be satisfied, whereas a whole evening of it gets a bit boring because it's like too much of the same thing. But then we all have varying tastes. Some of us like commercial music, and some of us like way out jazz, some of us like straight ahead jazz more, some of us like rock and punk, and and then you add all those little influences in.
I thought our inspiration was an Italian traffic jam.
That too. I may want 16 bars of such and such. He may say, that's corny, that's really over the top, and do 1 bar is enough for me, and he may say, well, I think 3 bars, and Kurt may say, well, I don't know, I think 5 is more, and then you put it all together and kind of like it.
And Bill beats the hell out of all of us. And we end up with 16 bars. When someone brings a song in, there's a certain kind of, they're kind of married to the song a little more than maybe you may be at the beginning, You could be excited about it, or you can be critical of it, but you also have to gauge your criticism on the fact that they're the one that was first. This is their embryo, this is what they're bringing to the group, and to, temper your criticism. In our band, we've tried through all kind of, through bickering and everything, to get to these places where someone can say, well, I don't think, that really, caustic statements don't necessarily help, but then sometimes it gets you thinking too.
A lot of what the Jazz Passages in Love album came out of was, David Cale's from England. He's from Luton, as a matter of fact. Apparently Luton usually gets a lot of laughs.
Well, his monologues are just incredible. His images are he puts together images that are really different and strange, and he tells a story. He's a great storyteller, and his sensibilities are very close to the sensibilities of the band, this strange juxtaposition of things and crazy ideas.
Have fun. Are you happy people? The drinks and the laughs on me.
And also Ray Dobbins is another writer, and I lived with him for a long time, and he's a really good writer, and so we had worked together a lot, and so a sort of a group of lyric writers between us came together, and David did the most of the lyrics though, and so in a sense he's kind of the both of them are kind of part of the band.